You're listening to the Dan and Kody podcast, episode number 38.
This is the Dan and Kody podcast.
Toy boat.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
This is the Dan and Kody podcast.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Saddle up, partner.
38, baby!
2 more to go. Somebody better ring that bell, because they got KO'd.
2 more, and then it's the Dan and Dan podcast.
The Dan and Dan podcast, where he sits in a mirror, he asks himself a question, and he responds.
And then we fight to the death. Dan versus Dan. Dan versus Dan.
And then all of a sudden, I magically appear out of the mirror, and I said, I'm tired of this black-on-black crime.
No, that's where you're wrong, because it's Dan. It's my white side fighting my black side.
Oh my gosh, that sounds wow. That's like a rainbow.
My black side is like Black Lives Matter, and then my white side is like all Dans matter.
Which side wins?
I don't know.
I mean, why would you think the white side would win?
He's very malicious and has a way better vocabulary than Black Dan.
Okay, so then why would the black side of Dan win?
He is more... I channel him physically.
Okay.
So if there were a fist fight between Dan, Black Dan,
and
the
what?
athlete Dan, would destroy White Dan.
So the only reason that Dan is athletic is because of his black side.
That's right.
Oh, really?
That's right. It's coordination, the drive, the trash talk. I'm angry out there.
Competitor.
I'm a competitor.
Wow, okay.
I compete at the highest level.
So you're your own yin and yang.
Yeah, constantly. In growing up, back to school,
Yeah.
my closet was, half and half.
Dresses and jeans.
Yep. Dresses, jeans, patent leathers, and pumps.
You look good, and a really sick pair of Jordans.
Oh yeah.
Did you have any? Do you have any Jordans when you were a kid?
I didn't get into the Jordans.
No,
too expensive. Man.
They were pricey. I did end up with like 2 or 3 pair, like back to school shopping.
Yeah,
I like suckered my mom into it, being like, because we'd have to buy shoes like every 4 months for me because
really?
I would.
You were a growing boy.
I was a growing boy, and I just run through them.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like Gump, and I run everywhere, and I basically have no more soul.
You seem like the kind of guy who would like have a bunch of writing on his shoes when you were a kid. Were you one of those guys who like writed high on his shoe and writed?
No, man. I actually, my shoes I treated them like heaven until they got to the point where I'd beat them to hell. Because I love, shoes are my thing.
You're a shoe head a little bit.
I'm not like...
That's
like,
in now, being a shoe head.
Well, I have a friend that's a big shoe head, and he has over 1,000 pairs of shoes.
1,000?
Yes. That's
Good
not
Lord.
a lie. His closet is loaded with them. But I'm talking, he spends stupid amounts of money on them. Like, he's got this ridiculous pair with fucking... Actually, they're kind of dope. But they have tigers on them, and they're like...
Oh, the Ed Hardys?
No, they're not Ed Hardys, but they're
it's
pretty
like
cool.
a dragon with a unicorn thing?
Maybe it's a tiger, maybe it's an owl. I don't know. It's some Southwestern style art, I think. I don't know.
Oh, my God. I loved... Back to school. It's back to school.
It's back to school. Kids are going back to school.
We're going back.
They're getting educated, and here we are, grown adults, and we gave up on learning.
Summer's over. You've done your shopping. You've gone to Staples. You got your Trapper Keepers, and you got your shoes.
You got your shoes. You got your new clothes.
Shoes were very important in back to school.
Yes, they were. It was a class thing.
Yeah.
Like when you went to school, like you looked at other kids' shoes.
Yeah. And like middle school, I feel is the first time you are self-aware of like, I gotta have my shoe game right. I remember my mom had like crazy rules for back to school shoes. Like we couldn't have running shoes with the toe guard because they'd run out. She said they'd wear off too quick.
Running shoes with a toe guard.
Yeah, like Reebok Classics.
Oh yeah, where the toe, the front came way up to the front.
Yeah,
and then they'd end up flapping out.
Right.
You'd have that flappy on the front.
My mom just was like,
She just didn't like the way those flappies looked.
She
didn't want you to look homeless.
Right. And 6th grade, I remember I got the Fila run balls.
The run balls.
And I was like, I am the man.
The Fila run balls were what, Grant Hill shoes?
No.
Do you remember those Fila's? The triangles?
Dude, I had the Grant Hills.
What?
I had the Grant Hills in 9th grade. God. And then I got cut from the basketball team.
No, don't worry about it. You still have those dope-ass Hill shoes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The G Hills.
The G Hills. Fila. Whoa. Where'd you go, Fila?
Fila went to tennis and then to Target.
Are they at Target? I haven't seen a pair of Fila's in years.
Fila's. Oh, no. They're alive and well at Costco. Fila's.
Okay.
And what was I going to say?
So your mom, she had these rules about these shoes.
Yeah, she had the shoe rules. And it's back to school. I don't fucking know.
All right.
So your shoes.
Yeah.
What'd you do with your shoes?
Like my shoe was so like I'd get a new pair of shoes right before school, and my mom wouldn't let me wear them until school started, and I just stare at them all the time.
You couldn't wear them till school started?
Yeah, she's like, no, you're gonna run through them even before you get to school. You can't wear them.
That's torture. So would you like you did your back to school shopping and then
I'd
summer?
keep them in their box. No, we do the school shopping like 3-4 weeks before school started.
Okay.
So mom would get me a couple pairs of pants or some dope ass colored Martha Jabot shorts.
Martha Jabot?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Jabot were these like brand of jeans where they put their name right on the genital section, like right on the zipper area, and it said Martha Jabot.
Martha Jabot.
Yeah, and actually, if you look them up, they're a French company. They were really big in the 90s. And they had all these colors and shorts. And I had like a whole rainbow of colors when I was a kid. And I literally had a pair of shorts that were the color of a rainbow.
I mean,
they were Union Bay, though. Those were Union Bay shorts. I didn't like the way they fit. They didn't accentuate the areas I wanted to accentuate when I was a 10-year-old boy.
Right.
So
I mean, the only pictures I've seen from your back to school days are you and them big wide ass Jenkos.
That was high school. The Janko jeans with my ICP tees.
Hell yeah!
Insane Clown Posse coming through. We got, just so you guys know, we got some Fago lovers in the house tonight.
Oh boy! Settle down, ladies. Settle down. But no, like back to school was a special time for a kid.
It was a refreshing period because you were afraid to go back because the summer ended, but you were happy to see all your friends.
Yeah, you're like by that time, like because when you're that young, I felt like summer was a lifetime, and then by the time it's like okay, August, you're like, all right, I think this is it. Then like you have that little. A lot of schools in Maryland started before Labor Day. Mm-hmm. So you'd have like a week or so. Yeah. I may not be remembering this right. And then it's like, boom, you got Labor Day. So like you get another little taste of summer and then you're really back.
Idaho is the same way for us. However, I lived in a town of like 10, 12,000 people. And then we had another school that it was like a farm community. And we'd go to school and they'd go to school at the same time. And we'd go to school for a week just like them. And then the next week they'd get it off for harvest.
Harvest?
Yeah, because they had all these kids working on all these farms. So a lot of kids would not show up to school anyway, so they just decided, well, we'll have these kids stay an extra week at the end of the year, and we'll give them this week off because they're not going to show up anyway because their parents are going to have them work on the farm.
Wow.
So we'd get this harvest period. I wouldn't because I was an inner city kid for that 10,000.
You were the city slicker.
I was. Me and my Martha Jabots and my colorful shorts. Now that feeling that you get when you're going back to school?
Oh, it's anxiety. It's did I get the right clothes?
That's right.
Like, did I make the right purchases?
Is my hair dope enough for my school pics?
Mm-hmm. Where's my locker?
Yep.
Who's in my class? That was very important.
Yeah, for sure.
And who's my teacher?
Yeah.
That was a big deal. Our elementary school, they had like you were able to meet your teacher before school started.
Really?
Did you guys have that?
No. They just threw us in there blindly. We actually walked into class the first day. They kept the lights out. And then when everybody was in class, they turned the lights on. You got to see who your teacher was. It was more of a surprise.
Really?
No, that's a complete lie.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It was like an Oprah moment.
Yeah,
here's your teacher.
Yeah! Yeah.
Everyone sits down and like there's a paper glued to the bottom of the seat and you pull it out and it's like, I got Miss Jones.
Miss Jones, we love you.
And you get Miss Jones. And you get Miss Jones.
Unfortunately, you get Miss Lindley.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
One year we went to this meet the teacher thing, and I met my teacher, Miss Jones, in 3rd grade, and she was so nice then.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then
She ran the classroom like a football coach.
I came back and she was a nightmare. I was
Really?
like, is this the woman we met? I was like, I hate Miss Jones. But she was a total bitch. I wasn't combing my hair back then, and my hair was like matted into like this half white, half black, missing link, nappy, froey thing. And I'm leaving school for the day. Like the bell rings, we leave, and Miss Jones looks at me and she goes, "You're gonna want to brush your hair in the morning from now on." And I was like, "What? All right."
Who does she think she is?
Who does she think she is? And I mean, stupid me, I started doing it. But I could have had a really cool like dreadlocky thing going on.
She must have thought your mom wasn't like picking up the slack in the home.
She's a jerk. She's a total jerk. She didn't know what I was going through.
Well, and not just that. What's wrong with you expressing you?
Yeah. Why can't a kid just if a teacher told a student to brush their hair today and that student came home and told their mom,
Yes.
there'd be some problems.
Oh,
there.
yeah. And I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
I think teachers have some responsibility to help. I actually got to thank a lot of teachers.
Ooh.
Because they helped me become the man I am today, which I think is okay. Mm-hmm. And I credit that to not only my mother and my dad, but I do need to give a shout out to teachers in general, because honestly, I mean, I spent a lot of time with teachers.
Teachers are great.
And they helped define me. Even Miss Jones.
Even Miss Jones, yeah.
She taught you to comb that dope ass hair of yours.
Yeah.
And then
I defy her every day because
Now-
I still don't comb my fucking hair
That's
because I shaved it, Miss Jones. How you like me now?
yeah, but that's just because of yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be in that boat in about a year. You and I will both be bald.
And I have so many Dollar Shave Club razors to send your way, buddy.
Hey,
so
I'm
many.
ready to take
I
it.
have like a stockpile. I canceled it.
Hey, which brings us to our first our first point.
What?
Is there a moment in your life where you look back on going back to school and thinking, this feels just like that right now?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean,
Do you ever feel that feeling?
yes, I have.
When?
There's been after like a long vacation,
Yes.
after our honeymoon, we came back. I was out of work for like 2 weeks.
Where was your honeymoon?
Hawaii.
And what? And you guys? So it was a 2-week break.
Yeah.
That includes the wedding,
Yeah, well, yeah. So longer than 2 weeks, I was out
because
of
the
work.
wedding was like 5 days, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like half a month, and then, isn't it?
2 weeks is half a month. Yes.
Yeah.
If we're talking, I mean, except for the month of September this year.
That's like 17 days. And we came back to work, and it was like I had anxiety. I was excited to go there. I was like, oh shit, I gotta like put on my outfit. I'm
You had
married now.
you had those
Gotta
cool
put the ring on.
company photos you guys took to post online on propstore.com.
Yeah. So like when I came back from being married, that sort of felt like back to school.
Well, that's cool.
How about you?
Never.
Those back to school feelings are done.
They're gone.
What if you got? I mean, I bet if you got a new job, it'd be very back to school.
I don't feel like it's back to school, because when you go back to school, you got friends, you got people you know, you're going to meet new people, you know that.
Yeah.
You know, you have work that you don't really know how to handle, but you know it's probably going to be kind of the same thing. I think if you get a new job, most cases, you don't know anybody. You're sitting at lunch alone. People are making fun of you. You're not making fun of them.
If you went back to school today,
I mean,
all
I'd be a
these
creepy
feelings would be
32-year-old
gone.
man. Yeah.
like all those feelings of like happiness would be gone. You'd be like, oh, great.
I mean, there's times I think, oh, it'd be kind of cool to be back there. But now, no.
You're like, I'm sitting next to fucking Marvin.
Yeah, right?
I hate Marvin.
I mean, what's the expectation in school? Make it through puberty and make sure you don't, impregnate a girl?
Don't die.
Not grade school, but school.
Yeah. Oh, college? Or
College.
just like school
Just
in general?
I was always paranoid I was just going to like impregnate a girl. And I'm not saying that because I'd go out and have like all kinds of sex, But I'm just saying, in high school, I was really worried. Like, I was worried about drugs. Like, I feel like I'd trip on something and then I'd get high.
Yeah.
Right? Or because they were so heavy on that.
It's our mothers put the fear of everything into us.
Everything.
When I was in high school, high school and middle school, I thought that everyone had AIDS or herpes.
Oh man, I know. And they made you take a class on AIDS.
And I was like, I cannot have sex with anybody or kiss anyone because I'll get herpes.
Yeah, 1 in 4 people have an STD. I don't want that.
Dude, no one had AIDS in high school.
Nobody I knew had AIDS.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Like, if I could go back, I would have sex with everybody in high school. In high school.
I couldn't do that.
I would do it.
I see that. I mean,
I love you.
I mean, I got a handful of girls that I would have had sex with in high school. A handful. No offense to everybody else at BHS. I'd be loving and repping you. But there's a handful I would have had sex with. Everything else,
it's just not as scary. Of course, with like protection and everything. But
you want to be responsible.
Yeah. But like, I was always like, the condom's gonna break, and then AIDS will get in, and then I'll get it.
Yep.
And then I'll get herpes too.
Nobody wants AIDS, herpes, or any of those things.
I hear that most, like, AIDS is sort of like the main course, but like with AIDS, you're probably also gonna get other shit.
The main course?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like a meal. Like AIDS comes with like a little bit of herpes, a little bit of meningitis.
No. This
Like,
is
those are your side dishes.
No, you don't get side dishes.
You have some clap, and then it's like, oh well, we should probably test for AIDS too.
AIDS isn't and you know this. AIDS is an immune virus that shuts down your immune system, which
Right.
allows for all of these little fancy ones to
Right.
come in and take over.
But that's why you get a couple with it.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Well, you don't get a couple with it. Oh, you're saying just because somebody got AIDS, they got herpes and everything else?
Yeah, it's like, well, you have this, so you probably also might have this.
Oh, I see. Well, you're more susceptible to other viruses.
Right.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you always sick.
Yeah. And it's always weird. Here's the other thing, too, is the television shows that we'd watch at the time, they wanted to present AIDS as a thing.
Right.
I mean, how many high schools had a bunch of kids with AIDS? Like television shows had kids with AIDS.
Yeah. Melrose Place, there was a tenant with AIDS.
He was tenant, but he wasn't a high school kid. I'm saying, wasn't there? What was
Yes,
My
I
So-Called
watched Melrose
Life?
Place.
My So-Called Life with Claire Danes. Didn't she
Yeah.
have a friend that had AIDS, and they're in high school? Were they in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in high school.
His gay friend had AIDS?
Ricky, yeah.
He had
I
AIDS?
feel like he did.
Yes,
did not have
he had AIDS
AIDS.
because he was dying, and he died in the show.
Why do they always give...
And it was only one season.
And it's just like, and this is the thing. I'm like, you're scaring the bejesus out of these kids.
And they always give it to the gay friend.
Which was offensive, and it was the
Fucking
90s.
stupid.
AIDS
Yeah.
was, susceptible, by the homosexual community because where those people would have sex, you more than likely experience blood.
In like super like early 80s.
That's why they thought it was a disease of
Right,
homosexuality, but it's really not the case. Anybody anybody can get AIDS.
Of course.
Anyway,
But back to school.
back to school. Back to school. Anyway, I miss back to school. I think it's fun. I'm glad I'm not there though. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't see myself going back. Not going back.
Well, that's
The times in school we had were fantastic. They made us who we are today, and like you said, thank you teachers. You know what I didn't know until this year? That teachers have to they create their own classroom.
yeah. They have to make a curriculum.
Yeah.
Yeah, they build their own curriculums, and then they have to have them approved, and then they walk through them for the whole year.
But I mean they fuck, Jenny, are you alright?
Tara had her baby.
Oh. Tara had her baby!
I was crying.
I'm like, why are you crying?
Because I'm looking at a picture of her.
I was like, is Moxie alive?
She's like, my best friend.
No offense, Kat.
Tara Strickland!
Like, Kat's here, so can you, just calm down on who your best friend is right
Oh
now?
my
Because your best friend's the person sitting right next to you right now.
Tara Strickland and Blake had their baby just now.
Congrats, guys.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Dang.
Oh my god.
But, okay.
Anyway,
Excuse me.
Sorry, they look like twins. The babies.
babies. Got baby on my brain.
Okay, yeah. So back to
Anyway,
school.
so that's back to school, man. That's the lifestyle of going back to school. It's just it's a good season, a good year. I hope you guys are making sure your kids got them good kicks. Mm-hmm. You're telling them about the dangers of STDs.
And you're telling them to brush their hair.
Brush their hair.
Who's the teacher you loved the most? Do you have one?
I had so many great teachers. I really did. In grade school, I had a third grade teacher who me and a very close friend of mine, we loved.
Third grade.
Third grade, we really loved her. Her name was Miss Cope, and she was lovely. We had raps and rhymes about her. I was rapping in third grade.
You rapped about her?
Yeah. MC. We called her MC Pepsi because she was loving that. She was loving that cola. But we were big fans of her when we were kids. She was real hard. Like when she'd get angry, we were like, "Oh shit!" But
yeah,
we just loved her. We thought she was great. After that, I had a series of teachers that I really enjoyed, but I can't really say that there's one that There's so many that had an influence on my life.
Were there any that like ignited like the fire in you to like do something or pursue something?
No, I was pretty driven by that just from being at home. I didn't want to. Yeah.
Right.
I always wanted if there's anything that school did, I would have to say that reading. I was really into reading at a very young age, and so that really ignited my desire to kind of explore and go on adventures. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of it. I was also really into movies at a very young age. So exploration, movies, and the fact that that I was in such a small town and there was so much out there, and to think that I was kind of locked off in this area, it really motivated me to want to go away.
Yeah,
and I actually attribute a lot of that to Fraggle Rock.
Let the music play.
Yeah.
And
I know we kind of talked about this before.
That Fraggle
Rock had a major effect because of the exploring uncle that would go out into the world. Do you remember this guy?
Yes. And he would go explore, and the Fraggles would just like run amok.
No, he'd go.
I remember the evil big dude.
Yeah, his name was Uncle Traveling Matt, and what he'd do is he'd go out and he would explore the human world, or as he liked to call, he'd basically adventure out and explore the human world. And he called humans like silly creatures, like he didn't understand them. And he was a scientist at the same time, right? Uh-huh. And then he'd send back these postcards back to all the Fraggles, telling them about his adventures. So I was just a big fan. Like I love this character because he'd just go out there, and I'm like, this guy knows how to do it.
He shaped you.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
That's awesome, dude.
But that's me. How about you?
My teachers, I had a first grade teacher, Miss Gory, who was just fantastic. Always singing, always dancing, always teaching us the ways. She, I'll never forget it. She did stuff that was fun. We had like these Dixie cups on our desks.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year, we put a bean in it with a little bit of water.
Nice.
And then it was like, don't touch the cup. Just watch the bean. And then every day, you come fucking look at your bean. And then like kept going. And then by the end, we had these beanstalks. And then we learned Jack and the Beanstalk and how it takes time, to grow something. You don't want to touch it. And I always my bean never grew because I would always pull it out of the water and peel it. And then put it back, thinking all right, come on. Because a bean growing, it peels its skin over and over and over.
Yeah.
So I was thought I was helping it.
You were actually killing the bean.
Come on. So I would just peel it back and plop it back in there.
Well, I just hope
everyone else is around me grew so high.
I just hope Jenny's watching over Moxie to make sure that you don't, peel her.
Yeah, I won't peel her. She'll grow.
Good.
But yeah, just little stuff like that, that's not in any curriculum, that's just creative.
That's a creative way to help you understand that things take time.
Right.
And that, if you take care of it and you do the right thing, it'll grow into something beautiful and large.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, Guilford Elementary was not in the brightest of neighborhoods, so there were kids who went to that school that wouldn't necessarily, have a bean to grow or like be in charge of a pine tree or something.
Yes.
Like we got pine trees and stuff. It was awesome. Like Miss Gory was the shit. She was a great teacher, and first grade just
Cool.
off the bat.
Love it. Those are the ones that stand out at those formative years.
You know it, man. But I had no idea that teachers, they have to like dress their own classroom with
Yeah.
like their own funds and stuff. I did not realize
They
that.
get a budget, don't they? And then they can get reimbursed up to a certain dollar amount,
Yeah.
depending on where you're teaching.
But I bet that falls under like, okay, I can't do shit with that budget, but I want my classroom to be dope,
Oh yeah.
So they got to get crafty and sink some money in there.
Well, show me what you got.
Show me what you got. There should be a show. This is a great show idea. It should be called Teacher Cribs. And you go in and you give them a budget and they have to like create like a Wonderland classroom.
Teacher cribs,
Yeah.
like cribs, but with teachers.
Yeah. And they're like, and it's a competition show. They're like, welcome to my classroom, y'all. And then like they're graded on like how engaging the environment is.
Okay.
Maybe they get a sample group of students who are then surveyed,
I like that.
and then like they actually do teach in that environment, and then like you fucking send them off like every other reality show. Like you get John Taffer.
expelled.
Yeah, you get expelled, and they're like, "Doom, you're expelled." Like you have to go to the principal,
Yeah.
and it's John Taffer.
I don't know who John Taffer is.
Shut it down.
I don't know who that is.
He's the bar rescue guy.
Oh,
John Taffer.
I don't know who
He
that
comes into your bar. He tells you it's awful. He yells at you. He fires all your employees.
I've seen that show.
And then he
Yep.
sets you back up. And he's
I know.
like, "You serve this to your customers? Do you know what this is? That is a rat. There is a rat in here. You are serving this. Get out." And then he like runs outside. He's like, "Shut it down." He's the principal.
Okay.
I'm in. This is my idea. My brainchild.
That's your reality show.
And
your,
the students,
your
like
school.
they get interviewed. There's like diary, like video diaries of the teachers, and they're like, "I don't think I taught that well. That kid did not. He wasn't getting it." And it's because, I made this TP,
I have to be honest. I would watch this show.
and they, like you do a class on Native Americans, and you have a TP in the corner, and where they read, and then like one of the kids calls the teacher racist, and that's a whole fucking episode. And like she's crying in the video diary, like, "I'm not racist. I wanted to show that Native Americans were." And then and then all the teachers vote who goes to the principal's office, and Taffer fires you. Oh yeah, you're expelled.
Wow.
Let's do this.
All right. That's a
I
great
think
show
we need
idea.
I think we need to talk to somebody about this show.
I might be able to get us in touch with some people.
That would be amazing, bro.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that television show.
And you know how many teachers there are in the world?
There's a lot of them.
There are a lot of them. And do you know when they are home?
What?
When they're home to watch television?
At night?
8 p.m. time slot, baby. NBC.
You think that works for the general public?
Yeah.
Okay.
They come home from work and they're like, I gotta watch Teacher's Pet. I gotta get home and watch Teacher's Pet.
Okay. All right.
And then like the teacher that wins is the teacher's pet. Or like the principal's pet. It's
For the year?
something in this show has to be called teacher's pet.
Maybe the student.
Yeah, or like one of the students is a plant.
What?
No, like he like
Oh,
a
you mean?
mole.
Oh, I thought you meant a physical plant.
No.
There's Jerry sitting over there just growing.
He's a beanstalk.
Stop raising your hand, Jerry.
He's the plant. He's the mole to like.
I get it.
Screw you up.
It sounds like this kid needs to have his head on straight
Yeah.
to even understand what the hell his role is.
And then if there are issues like undercover boss, you can
Totally.
send in what's his name, the sexual predator
Jack
guy.
Trisco.
Yeah.
Jack Trisco. Send in Trisco.
Wait, no. Who's the
Would you like to have a seat? Would you like
Yeah,
to
yeah,
sit
yeah.
down?
Yeah.
Chris?
What's his name?
It's like Chris,
Not Catan.
To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it? His name's Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen. Yeah, you keep him on deck in case one of the teachers is a little hands-on.
Do you know how old this girl is?
Yeah.
That you're talking to on the internet? I don't know, 17 or 25.
And like that show, it's like Maury Povich because it's like the same shit every single day.
Every single episode.
Yeah.
Do you realize I just walked out from behind this door to catch you wanting to hang out with a young girl? Oh, I thought she was a lot older than...
They're always shaking.
Yeah.
And they always sit down.
Of course they sit down.
Hanson's
what are you
like,
going to do?
Hanson walks out with transcripts. He's like, have a seat, please. And they're like, they just immediately sit down. I would be gone. I would be like, I got to leave. This is not the 12-year-old.
It's like you're like, I'm out, bitch.
Yeah, bye. And then he like sits them down. They have a moral conversation. And he's like, in this,
I hope you learned your lesson.
You said that, do you have condoms? And she replied, yes, how would you like me to use them? And you said, we don't need to. And then he's like, did you say that? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I said that. Well, I typed it. I didn't say it. I mean,
They're like,
maybe
what?
I said it to myself.
And he's like, what were you going to do here? And
Well, we're not going to use them because I'm not going to have sex with her.
And is there a bottle of tequila and lube in that bag, sir?
No, just a bunch of black dildos.
But we were just going to talk. They were always just going to talk.
Of course. I mean, you have to have conversation. You can't just walk right in there.
Yeah. And then the actor girl is always in the back like, yeah, come in, I'll be right there.
I'm just getting out of the shower and I just made a hot, warm batch of cookies.
Just give me 1 second. I'm blow drying my hair. And they're like, okay. I brought the boons.
Sorry, my paraplegic dad needs to be put to bed. I'll be out in a moment.
And it works every fucking time.
Of course.
If I walked into any of these places, I would immediately be like, no one's here to let me in, and this is To Catch a Predator. Goodbye.
Hi, I'd actually walk in, and the first thing I would say before anything, I'd be like, yeah, my car broke down the street. I just need to use a phone.
Yeah. And
Like,
then
say something.
And then you get out of there. And then at the end, there's always like a guy in like overly militarized police.
Totally.
He's in like fucking camo.
They
in
literally
the
have a
bushes.
SWAT team ready to shoot you.
Yeah, and they fucking throw you on the ground when you're just willing. You're like, I'm good. I'm okay. You don't need to be camouflaged into the garage.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Poor guys.
Yeah, that's
Guys,
I'm in like
they're
the...
going there to have sex with 11-year-olds.
No, they were going to have a conversation
Yeah.
about how you shouldn't invite strangers over to your house.
They're innocent till proven guilty.
It's true.
Hello. We just see him get arrested.
It's true. So I was having a conversation with Madeline
Yep.
about the wedding. I'm bringing the wedding up again.
Big wedding coming up.
So we're sitting there, we're talking to each other, and I tell her, I'm like, you know, if I have a dance with my mom, I think I'm gonna break down and cry. She's like, why? And I'm like, because it's one of those things where it's like I have this weird relationship with my mom where I love her, right?
It's tough.
It's tough.
Are you going full song? That's also a good question.
I
you
was
should
thinking
have.
of going full song, like unless I break it up into like some kind of like we do a slow dance, and then what we can do is gradually increase the speed.
Yeah.
And then it gets real weird, and before you know it, we're like crumping. Like we're facing off with each other, like we're doing chest pops.
Yeah, I've seen.
We have a dance off instead of like that's the way to show, hey, we were close with the slow dance, but now we move to the point where
Now
we're like,
we're
see ya, mama,
friends."
I'm moving on.
Yeah.
I got a new gal.
I mean, there's always that risk that you take that it doesn't translate.
That's right.
You know, there's so many. You can do like just straight up song.
Straight up.
How we did it was our song was Coldplay, Yellow,
Okay.
acoustic version.
Oh, very nice.
And I had a connection with the DJ, and he was like, if you want, just nod, and I'll
Cut it.
fade it out.
Nice.
So like if you're just
If it
sitting
got
there-
weird.
yeah, if it's too long,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it's just too long,
Well,
and you don't have time for that stuff.
so here's
So
the
what-
thing.
what's your song?
So that's the thing. So Madeline and I got in kind of a little discussion about my song because I had like the perfect song. Because
Mm-hmm.
every time I hear this song, it makes me think of my mom.
Right.
So I want to play it. And so I play it for her, and it's Boys to Men, Song for Mama.
Boom.
Right?
Love it.
Loved Boys to Men when I was a kid.
Mama.
I'd sing Boys to Men in the shower. I'll Make Love to You when I'm like 9 years old.
Ooh.
I just rock.
Nice.
I'll Make Love to You in the shower.
I used to sing 5 Steps.
Oh, great song.
Great song.
Oh, Boys to Men were amazing, right? They
They're-
still are amazing.
They're the East Coast family. Boys to Men, ABC, BBD.
So I played it for Madeline, and she said, "You can't play that."
She vetoed.
She vetoed it. She's like, "No, you're not playing that song." And I'm like, "Why? It's my song for my mom." Because it's real, like, mom heavy.
You can't mess with that.
You can't. And I love it because it's like, "Mama, Mama, you're the queen of my heart."
Oh, it's a beautiful song.
I mean, it's so, like, mom-centric.
Yeah, and there isn't a lot of songs that are just, this is the mom song.
This is the mom song. But
Huh?
Madeline actually asked me, she said, is that song actually about your mom? Or is it about mama? Like, that's what you're calling the girls.
No.
Like, she thinks it's like me saying that to, "Hey, mama, you want to come over here and sit on my lap?" Like, that's what she thinks it sounds like.
No.
And I'm like, no, it's a song about your mother
yeah, it's a mother
and
song.
the bond that you have.
Yes.
But she's anti.
She's still not having it.
She's not having it.
Maddie, you gotta let him do it.
You got to let me have my song for mama.
And the guys, what do you call it? Historically, there aren't a lot of things that the guy has control of at the wedding.
It's true.
From my experience, it was like, okay, I got the DJ,
Yes.
I got the music, and I had my say on like the alcohol.
Nice. I
And-
don't even have that.
Everything else was pretty much Jenny's brainchild, and then I got to pick my song.
Nice.
You gotta let him pick a song, Maddie.
I should be able to play that song.
I'm team Kody on this
Anyway,
one.
so, I would love, if anybody that's listening, please send me some information on how that song went over at your wedding. If you played that for your mama. Because I need it. Because I need that kind of, I want to be able to prove to Madeline that it doesn't sound like I'm going to make love to my mom. It sounds like I'm going to, hug my mom.
That Kanye song?
Which one?
It's like
Mama?
la 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 la
Yeah.
la la
Hey,
la 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 la.
mama.
Ah.
I know I said I'm coming back to school, but I'm about to me.
That's a great one. I love that one.
You to make that to me. It's a great song.
But I know my mom hates rap. She won't even call it music. So I was like, I can't have a rap song.
That's all right. She's obviously grew up with different sounds.
Yeah. So we went with ambiguous love.
That's good. But
But dude, I think Mama, it hits home for you.
it does. Like I hear it and I cry.
Get it.
It's just too much. I actually, the only reason I wouldn't want to do it is because I think it would hurt. I think it would be so emotional for me. I couldn't do the dance.
Oh, you could do it.
No, man, you don't understand.
You won't break down.
I would
You think
fall apart.
You think of me saying, Kody, be strong. And that'll get you through.
Okay. That's fair. I get that.
I wonder, are there covers of Mama?
Oh, that's interesting.
Like,
If there's a cover, it makes sense. But I love the Boys to Men that I feel like I have
Right.
to represent them because they're not just that; they're a part of me growing up.
Right.
Right?
But I wonder if Maddie's beef with the song isn't the message, but the
It's
way
the fact
they
that
sing
Boys
it.
to Men are super sexual. They sexualize everything they sing, and they kind of sexualize Song for Mama.
What
They
if
don't
you,
intentionally do it, but that's just how they sing.
What if you got a Michael Bublé version of Mama?
It wouldn't be as sexualized, but it wouldn't be as emotional either. I think the interesting thing is you could have Boys to Men sing anything.
And it'd be kind of sexy.
Yeah, it would. I wanna eat this ham sandwich. You could talk about grinding metal.
Ring around the rosy. Home. Pocket full of posies.
Home.
Ashes.
Ashes, we all fall down. Nailed it.
I want to have. Oh, sweet love to Jenny to
Wanna
that
have
song.
babies. Exactly. Anyway,
That's a song about the plague, right?
True.
Ring around that rosy.
That's right. I want to tell you about a company called JC Room Blocks. They're huge, okay? Do you have 10 or more out-of-town guests coming into an event near you? Are they coming into town and you don't want to put them up in your place, but you know you're going to need the rooms? Not a problem. Weddings, family reunions, bachelorette parties, corporate events, holiday parties. Huge.
They're good people.
They research hotels in your wedding venues. Who is that, you're asking? JC Room Blocks. That's who. JC Room Blocks comes and they look for rooms for your family, for your friends, for people you care about, for people that need places to stay. They set up room blocks. What do? Oh, no big deal. You get deals on rooms because you took so many rooms at one time. And guess how much they cost? Let me tell you, nothing. Free. If you tell them the Dan and Kody podcast sent you, you get a free service from JC Room Blocks. Now, check out JC Room Blocks at jcroomblocks.com. They're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Do yourself a favor. Follow them. Check them out. When you need their service, they're going to be there for you. They're ran by 2 quality ladies who know how to handle big situations, if you know what I mean. So, since they're certified travel agents, they can get you the lowest possible rates. And who doesn't want possible low rates? I know I do. Check them out. JC Room Blocks. Hey, did you hear the news about Vin Diesel?
What? They got beef.
Big time. I know we talked about it already.
There's more beef.
Uh-huh.
Didn't The Rock leave him out of like a thank you?
Yep.
Oh God.
He went back on his apology like we had talked about, and then he goes out and he writes a thank you letter and basically talks to everybody in it, but he leaves out Vin Diesel.
Well,
here's the beef line on Vin Diesel in Fast 8.
And is it because
sounds like it's because Diesel's a bitch.
Well, and I think Hobbs, the character Hobbs, is getting his own spin-off.
Oh, is he really?
Of the Fast. So
Okay.
maybe Vin's a little upset about that.
Possibly.
But I don't know, man. All of this that's been going on, it makes me kind of go back to my Vin roots. I feel for Vin. This is his franchise. His franchise.
I don't give a shit if it's his franchise, man. You do not step on The Rock that way. And I'm going to back up The Rock here.
Oh!
And I like The Rock. I think he's a cool guy. But, like, come on. Like, you have to be, because The Rock is good to everybody.
Yeah,
and if
true.
somebody's acting like a bitch,
The
it
jabroni.
takes a lot to get The Rock to say, you're being a bitch.
Like, hey, jabron.
And I think he's being a bitch.
It's possible,
Sorry,
man.
Vin, if you're being a bitch, you're being a bitch. No big deal.
It's very possible. But I've never thought of Vin being a diva on set. But like
You
it
never
is,
do.
it's
You never
his
do.
shit.
Yeah.
It's his Fast. I got Spice. The Spice.
What does that mean?
You haven't heard of the Spice?
Like the drug?
Yeah.
What about it?
Spice is back on the street, destroying Skid Row right now.
Why? Spice? I did Spice once. Put it in brownies.
You did it?
Oh, yeah.
Like the fake weed?
Yeah.
Well, it is like murdering people.
It's like the first thing I'd ever taken, and I was hallucinating.
It is like the leading killer in Skid Row right now. It's going for $1. The Spice. They're dipping it on their cigarettes. They got a liquid form of it.
Uh-huh.
And these people are doing it. They're freaking out. And
Oh my God.
they're not even like dying of the drug. They're dying from the injuries
That they sustained from being on the drug.
Yeah, they freak out and they just fucking drop dead on the side of the road, bust their head open.
First time I ever got high was on Spice.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of like the fake like salvia and stuff.
Yeah. No, I was told it was Spice. It was brownies. It was at a bachelor party. We were in a van. I said, this stuff isn't working. This stuff isn't working. Give me more of those brownies.
Did it mess you up?
Dude, I was like, we were literally like an hour and 15 minutes out of Reno, and it hit me. Because the drive from Boise to Reno is like 5 hours. And we were like an hour and 15, hour and a half out of Reno. And I'd taken it like an hour and a half before that.
Yeah.
But I ended up eating a ton. Because I was like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not
Dude,
feeling
the
it. I'm not
edibles
feeling
will
it.
get you,
And it hit
man.
me so hard that I'm like, whoa. And then I'm staring out the window, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And then we get to the hotel, and I'm like so hungry, and we go in and we eat, and I'm eating this cheeseburger and fries, and I have the cheeseburger up to my mouth, And as the cheeseburger's up to my mouth, my hand is in the French fries, and I'm swapping it at the same time.
Yeah.
I just like both hands are moving.
You're
and
like a clap-
I couldn't look at the waitress when I ordered the food because I couldn't look at her in the eye because I was so high that I felt like super embarrassed.
Yeah.
But it was weird. But I'd also look at paintings in this Radisson that we were staying in.
The Radisson.
And I thought that there's a face in that painting over there, man. There's a face.
Dude, the spite. Like, I'm the hallucinogenic drugs are not for me. From my experience with experimenting with drugs and alcohol and things like weed, shrooms, like spice, anything that like kind of affects like that like takes you into another kind of reality.
Yes,
those freak me out. Well, today they do.
I mean, I honestly thought it was just like I'd never been high before that moment, so I didn't know what it would do to me.
Before the spice.
I
used to love like just smoking weed in like middle school and high school, but
yeah, I didn't do it until I was I'd never smoked anything, but
you do it now, and I do it now, and I just like I get way too paranoid. I get freaked out.
Do you?
Yeah, but like
say no to drugs, kids.
Say
back
no.
to school. No drugs, no STDs.
I mean, this is all right. Here's what spice is. It's a cocktail of synthetic cannabinoids cooked up in a lab, often Russia or China, and they can contain any number of ingredients from a hodgepodge of more than 700 chemicals. The potpourri of chemicals is not listed on its flashy packaging. It is illegal.
When it first came out, it wasn't though.
And it's $1. That's what's getting me. It's like someone is just slinging this shit around for nothing, and like all these homeless people in Skid Row, they're just eating it up and
jumping off of buildings.
What comes to my mind is this population control? Like do you just go there, sell a awesome drug to a bunch of people, and then just like, all right, well, they're gonna die, so this is one way to do it. You know?
I think so.
Who knows?
Could be. Nah, I don't know if that's the case.
They get in the spice.
Anyway, well, stay away from them drugs.
Stay away from the spice, man. Spice Girls, on the other hand,
Ginger.
Keep them coming.
And Posh.
Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
Ooh, I just named them.
Ginger.
Ginger and Spice. When I was younger, Ginger was like, because she was curvy, and I was just like Ginger. But as
Jerry
Hollowell, Jerry Hollowell, and then
she's done some nudes.
Yes, I think I'm aware of that. And then there's Posh, who's like David Beckham's
right.
You know,
she's sort of fallen off today though. She looks very fake now.
Does she look bad now?
Oh yeah. She's gone down the rabbit hole.
That's too bad.
She ain't coming back. When Spice Girls were big, I liked Baby.
Ugh.
Baby Spice.
I get the appeal because she's blonde. I know you're a fan of the blondes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of blondes, obviously, because I'm marrying one. But
yeah. Baby Spice. That was my
girl.
I
didn't feel Baby Spice. I didn't feel her. Nah.
So sweet.
Yeah.
And she got them cheeks, them Jenny Hill cheeks.
She got them Jenny Hill.
She got them Jenny Hills.
What up, Baby Spice?
What's up, Baby Spice? What's the game? Murder, kill,
have sex with.
Marry, murder, kill.
Yes.
No.
No. Fuck murder.
Marry,
make love,
and
kill.
So it's got to be 3.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's 3.
Marry, make love to, kill, and let's add baby mama.
Baby mama.
Yeah, she's got to be your baby mama.
Okay. All right.
We'll do Britney's in there.
Britney Spears.
Katy Perry.
Fergie.
And dealers.
Lady Gaga.
Gaga?
No, maybe not Gaga.
Miley.
Ugh, okay.
No.
I mean, that's an immediate murder.
Christina
Aguilera?
Shakira?
No, it's Christina Aguilera. She's in that age group. That works. That works.
So, all right, so we've got Britney.
Okay.
We've got Britney, Perry, Katy Perry, Fergie, and Christina.
I got this.
All right, who's your Mary?
I marry Fergie.
You marrying Ferg? Wow.
I'm marrying Fergie.
All right. You want to keep her around?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
You want to have a relationship
I do.
with
I think
her.
I'd have a relationship with Fergie. I really do.
Okay.
I do.
I'm with you.
Okay. I'd marry Fergie. I would make love to.
It's tough. This is tough.
It's a tough one.
Brittany, Katie, Christina.
Yeah, or Fergie. But Fergie, I got
Fergie,
married.
you already got married.
So I got.
You'll probably make love to her too.
I'm gonna make love to. I'm gonna just real dirty, real quick, Christina.
Christina.
Yeah, big fan.
Nice.
Yeah, for
Christina then or Christina now? Because I think she's hot now.
I think
too.
I think she looks great, just across the board. She's looked good since I was in middle school.
She's gotten
High
thicker,
school.
but I'm about that.
I'm all right with that.
So about
that I would.
You gotta kill one, and then one's gotta be like the other woman who has your kid.
I'd probably kill Brittany.
You're gonna kill.
I'd probably kill Brittany. I'm sorry, Brittany, but I'd probably kill Brittany.
Devin Lotfi is so mad at you right
And
now.
I know he is, and it's so his fascination is odd to me. Sorry, Devin, but your fascination is a little strange.
Brittany getting killed.
And then I'd have Katy Perry have my baby.
Katy Perry's gonna be
She's
your
my baby
other-
mama.
She'd probably be a cool baby mama, like not too much drama. You know,
No, she seems like
she
she's
wouldn't get in
got
the way of Fergie.
No.
Fergie would keep her at bay.
Yeah, exactly. I think those two would face off well against each other.
How
about you?
I like your choices.
How about you?
Oh well,
Who you marrying?
I'm marrying Katy Perry.
Oh wow.
Love Katy P.
Okay, all
Jenny,
right.
you knew that was coming.
Yep.
You knew that was coming.
Okay, all right.
Marrying Katy P.
Make sweet love to quickly. Bang it out.
Man, make sweet love. Oh, who do you think it is, Jenny?
I know who it is.
Fergie.
Oh, yeah, it's Fergie.
All right.
It's Fergie.
You're killing Brittany too. I know you,
think
are.
I'm killing
I
Brittany?
think you're killing Brittany.
And Christina's her baby mama.
Yeah, I'm killing Brittany. Sorry, Devin.
Sorry.
Brittany's she never really was it for me.
No, she was great right when she started.
Yeah.
And then she had that slave song, which was really sexy. Mm-hmm. But whatever.
Yeah, she was just very plain to me. Not
She's never done anything
Slave
like...
for You. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she looked great in that music video.
Yeah.
However, she never really, Christina did this thing where she's like this wholesome girl, and then she gets
Naughty.
naughty as hell, right?
She
Right,
was
she broke it down.
naughty.
She's like, I don't want that image. I do not want Britney's image. And she broke that.
Yeah.
And then Britney was just, she kind of stayed the route.
She got lost.
She got lost. She just kind of stuck with what worked. She didn't really dive into something different.
And she got chewed up, spit out, came back, then got chewed up, spit out.
And I feel really bad for Britney because she's experienced a lot in
Yeah.
her 33, 34 years of life. You know?
She's doing VMAs.
Yeah, she's
She's
doing VMAs.
performing.
She's got a show in Vegas. I mean,
If she bombs at the VMAs, she is done.
she's
is
not
it.
bombing. She's fine.
But
I mean, whatever. She's not coming back. Her audience is 30 plus years old.
yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's like what Madonna tried to do. Madonna tried to reinvent herself with that, and she did a pretty good job. What is it? That ray of light. But the thing between Madonna and Britney is Madonna is always willing to reinvent herself.
Yeah.
And Britney can't sell what she used to sell,
Yeah,
which
it's
was
true.
like young girl sex.
It's like,
and it's
Brittany,
not.
you're a mom.
Yeah,
You're a mom now.
like Madonna was still able to break those lines. Madonna can't do it anymore.
No, she tried to at Coachella and make out with Drake, and everybody was like, "Ugh,
Gross.
Did you hear about that?
Drake, why are you making out with your mom?
She just off the cuff pulled Drake back and stuck her tongue down his throat, and then there's a video of Drake coming back up, and he's like, he puts his hand over his mouth and puts his hands on his head, and he's like,
You used to call me on your cell phone.
yeah, an 80-year-old woman just made out with me.
Yeah.
And then Christina, she'd be my baby mama because she can take care of children. She has a great voice, and I don't think that she would have a problem with Katie as the wife.
Oh,
You know?
I think those two would maybe get in
Would
each
they
other.
butt heads?
I think they'd butt heads.
They butt heads a little bit.
I think they would butt heads because they're both, prideful women.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you just had what with my man? That's your baby? I don't know why I'm talking like that because
Is
I
it-
don't talk like that.
Is it odd that the the two arguably best singers are the ones I would keep in my life. The baby mama and the married.
No.
Perry and Christina.
No, not at all.
Christina, I think Christina has the best voice out of all.
Oh
of those
yeah,
guys.
she's the Whitney Houston of the bunch.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to episode 38 of the Dan and Kody podcast. Check us out online on iTunes, the Android Play Store, Stitcher, YouTube, and do us a favor. If you have questions, you want to be heard on the Dan and Kody podcast, please email us at danandcodypodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's danandcodypodcast@gmail.com. Check us out, share us with your friends, and subscribe!
Everybody played itself, guys. Shit.